Hello, welcome. Yes, beautiful day today, friends. It's a Wednesday. We don't normally stream on a Wednesday. It's a new thing. It's no longer Party Monday. It's What About Me Wednesday. Actually, I can't remember. We had a different nickname that we came up with, but I couldn't remember it. So we're painting this dude tonight, and maybe we'll even finish him off. We'll see. There's a few things to do, so Bucks will be joining us later on, probably, if he remembers. I might go send him a message because he's probably forgotten the peanut. But yeah, I haven't watched the new episode of Secret Invasion yet, so we can't really talk about that. Alright, so what have I got to do on this dude? So I did get on and stream on Sunday morning. And I've been doing a little bit of painting each day, which has been nice. Feel a little bit back in rhythm with painting, which is cool. See if that angle's right. Probably not going to have too many of the regular champions come on today to hang out and watch the stream because it's another night. Maybe I should probably go promote this on my socials actually, so that people know we're hanging about. Stand by. We'll go do that now. Let's do this bit so I can let this bit dry. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks for me at work, and then filming my Aeon Trespass playthrough. G'day, Carl. So I feel quite pleased that I've gotten as much done on this guy as I have. Alright, I'll just go pop a quick tweet out. Quick tweet. And maybe in the Discord as well. I couldn't be fucked on my Instagram. It's so much effort to do a Grams post. Alright. So let's talk through the plans for this dude. We have a few elements left. We have a little bit of work to do on the fur, and a little bit of work to do on the leather. Just trying to decide if we go for tattoos got to fix the orange glow. It's still a little bit ordinary at the moment. Yeah, it's not quite right. We've got to add a little bit more colour to that, and then maybe just add a little bit of dark to that, and then tweak a few little bits. Anyway, we'll get there. So what sort of war paint and or tattoos should we opt for? It's ended up in a pretty cold palette. There's not a lot of like warm colours outside of this. So I don't think I want to go for like a red war paint. I think we'll stick with... Pay no attention to that. I think we'll stick with cold colours, so we'll just do tattoos maybe. What sort of pattern? I gotta remember to do my sex face when I use that. Oh, there's so many little doodads. This guy. So many little things. So yeah, had some pretty exciting news during the week. I'm taking on a new role at work. That was last week. I got the news. But yeah, new role. So unfortunately, I'll be travelling a little bit more. So that will mean less time overall for painting. But it will be a good opportunity to see my friend, Whaley. He lives in Tas, which is where I'll be travelling. So I've added a little bit of skin tone to this area, and I feel like it works quite well. So I'm gonna have to add some to some of the other areas too, I think. Jumper's way too hot. It's the middle of winter. In Brisbane it's like 35 degrees. Okay. Yeah, good advice. Definitely going to consider that. There's a colour that I really like that Bunny also uses a lot called Orcish Dermis. I think they've got it here. No, that's Ishtar Pink. But it's a really nice pinkish sort of, there it is, pinkish sort of reddy colour. So we may incorporate some of that. It's a... Hey Mick back. Thanks buddy. It's an interesting palette that I've got, because if I go too much into that pink sort of look, then I feel like we start to lose some of that really cold environment that we've got happening at the moment. So I don't know that I want to do that. Maybe. We definitely want to keep it cold. So adding too much pink might detract from that. Okay, let's go. Ooh, this is a risky colour to go with over here. Don't want to add too much of this into the skin, or start to move away from the green. So we've got 3 weeks left till the Guild's in, or 3 weeks left till I fly to the Guild's in. And I'm taking 4 projects at the moment, this being one of them. The Zodiac Temple being another Zodiac thing. And then my Athena. I can't remember what my 4th one was. Oh yeah, another piece that I haven't really shown too many people, because most people don't live anywhere near me. The two chicks that I combined in the one, the summoning, whatever we ended up calling that. I can't remember what we called it. Some wanky name. Should probably come up with the name of it before I take it down, actually. Maybe that can be the goal for tonight. Let's come up with names for all the projects, because when I went to Melbourne Arc Open, I called Athena Fish Lady, and I called the other project that I entered, some other equally ridiculous name. Alright. I can just keep fucking about with this at the moment because there's just so much cool shit on this model. But I should really start to dial in on what I want to focus on. I definitely need to sort out the orange glow, so maybe we should do that first. Orange glow, let's go. Let's do these little things first. Boom. 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 I think I'm going to do this bit actually. Yeah, it feels weird to be streaming on a Wednesday. Feels weird to be streaming after playing touch football a couple of nights ago. Still barely recovered. Got cracked ribs. Get too old for this shit. Just got a message. I thought it was Bucks saying, "I can't make it," but it wasn't. It was just my Through the Ages game. It's my turn in Through the Ages soon. What a fantastic game that is. So that game came out, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Koki and I have been playing it pretty much non-stop for that entire period. And we just recently managed to convince 2 of our other Tuesday night gaming dudes to come and have a game with us. And we played it on the physical table because Koki has a copy of the actual board game. And being able to play it on the table, they were able to understand what was happening. And since then, we've had a game going for the last 3-4 months, we've just been playing it every day. It's a pass your turn and go, right? So we're not just sitting there playing all day, but I haven't done anywhere near enough airbrushing on this guy. Alright. I gotta do some shit. I gotta do some shit on this that's actually gonna make it look better. I'm just fucking about. Let's do these heads. That'll be good. Alright, I need my flesh colour and some red. What red did I use? That'll do. So I heard in the news the other day, and when I say news, I don't of course mean the actual news because I don't watch that, but news about things that interest me, that Daredevil got pushed back or some shit, that it wasn't going to be coming out in 2024 like anticipated. If that is the case, that is absolutely devastating. Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus was absolutely going to change my life. I'm convinced. Needs to be lighter. Can anyone confirm that for me? Have I misread? Is it actually still going ahead and everything's going to be great? And I get to see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock again? Or am I shit out of luck here? By the way, everyone needs to go and follow Verco's Vault on Instagram and Facebook if you use Facebook still. Hasn't Facebook become just for old people? What's the actual platform that young people are using these days? I feel like it became Snapchat for a while. Is Snapchat still the go? Only young people can tell me. I miss Party Monday. Bucks forgot. What a shock. He's getting on soon. What a dickhead. Alright, I'm just going to go and grab a couple of my other entries for Guild's In. Hey, Bun. Bunny, this is my chat that I made in my thing. So you can join me in if you want. Stand by. Right, so I'm obviously not getting. Hello, Ben. I know Andor's taking a back seat. Sorry, mate. Thank you also for your subscription, my good man. So these are the two things plus the giant diorama that I'm bringing down. So this is the first one. We need to come up with a name for this. I don't really remember what my original premise for this was, but I did sign it. That's good. So that means it's finished. This bass is a bit piss weak actually. Maybe I should do a little bit of work on the bass. Well, okay, well I can switch to a different one. I can switch to a different chat, Bunny. I've got many chats. So we need a name for this. Those green bitches be witches. Alright. Yeah. Green bitches be witches. Not bad. And then, do we just go with the generic Athena on this one? Or, you know, obvious, simple, easy? Green, gold, and bold. The gold and the beautiful. Good times. Alright, let's get back into serious squirrel business. Paying this big dumb idiot. Roger that, Buxo. Looking forward to having a chat, mate. Talking about the Guild's Inn and your latest piece. We can have a little mull over how desaturation generation's working for you. Benny, you're welcome to join us. Bun, you're welcome to get on if you want to have a chin wag. Might be a nice, easy introduction back into your intent to come back streaming, Bun. To come and hang out with your two dads. I know. I'm one of those people frothing. Just like, bring back Bunny. Yep. Woke up this morning from the strangest dream. I was in the biggest army the world had ever seen. You're marching as one on the road to the Holy Grail. That was Bunny. Oh yeah, what is there's a new one out, isn't there? New Star Wars game out. Another friend of mine was talking about it. Have you played any Shatterpoint yet? I, at this point, have probably played more games of Shatterpoint than you, Ben. I've played 2 games. and I've managed to avoid buying anything, which I'm really chuffed about. You know, normally I'm like, well, I thought that was moderately okay. Better spend $7,000 on it and get everything that I possibly can. But no, I managed to avoid that. It is fun. It is fun. It's cool. Actually, you should post a link to your channel in the chat, mate. Yeah, pretty quick. Yeah, only takes, I don't know. Well, it didn't take me long, but to smash the shit out of the other guy. No, I think it was about half an hour, 45 minutes if you know what you're doing, which is good. Yeah, Benny's been making some videos on his YouTube channel, and he's doing a far better job than I am of ever making videos, because his videos are actually interesting to watch. Mine is just me talking, and nobody finds that interesting except for a few absolute dedicated Deno lovers. No, you're out there. Bucks, shout out to you, mate. My number one fan, Bucks-o. Do you, mate? I don't recall anyone saying that. If I did say that to someone, it was in confidence and was never to be repeated, especially not to you. You got a screenshot of that, champ? I don't believe you got a screenshot of that. So, didn't exist in my books. What are you doing watching my streams back, you joker? You're a dickhead. I think it's fair to say that you are a bigger fan of me than I am of you, because you had to trawl through somewhere in the vicinity of 1,000 hours of content from me to find one comment where I'm like, you're a good dude. Hey, Jared, you're a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Started out seeking fortune and glory. It's a short song, but it's a hell of a story when you spend your lifetime trying to get your hands on the Holy Grail. Hey, so is Topolis gone overseas with his missus, or is he just trundling around in Europe by himself? Does anyone know? Has Anna gone with him? Oh, that's good. Looks like he's having a ripping good time. I don't follow her on any socials because, as you know, you need to earn that right for me to follow you on socials. And she's done nothing to warrant it. Except for make fun of Ben about his trees for a bit, which I did enjoy, I will admit. I haven't watched Avatar. It came out on Disney Plus the other day. What are you making a comeback on, Benny? I mean, it's just, oh yeah, good. Can't wait. It's just Fern Gully, isn't it? Fern Gully, the movie remake. Fern Gully had a sequel, I'm sure, that went straight to video, VHS. Yeah. So let's talk Guilds in, Jared. How many people we got coming so far? You got many tickets? What's happening? I need to prepare myself. I need to know if I need to bring signed photographs in advance or if it'll just be okay for me to rock up on the day. You know what I mean? What do you think I should do? Flick, you good looking rooster, you. For you, mate, there will be more skin. More skin. I'll send you a special one. What are you doing, you champion? Kicking about on a Wednesday. When's the great comeback, Flick? When can we expect to see you gracing the screens of Twitch again with your presence? You're the inspiration, mate, for all miniature painters out there. For anyone who's ever thought, you know what, I could sit on stream for 3 hours and paint half of a leg. Always. Always well, mate, and good to see you as well. Yeah, so you got no ballpark for us, Jared. No, there's going to be 20 people, there's going to be 50 people. It's just turn up and see who's there. Is that what you're telling me? I've got to prepare myself, mate. I don't like people. You know this. There's too many people. I have to excuse myself. Oh, wow. I'll have to keep an eye out for you, mate. Just so I can come and heckle the shit out of you. New daughter. Congrats, buddy. I recommend not having kids. It's proved to be a financially, socially, and just in general health and well-being fantastic decision for me. 10 out of 10. Would recommend giving them back if you can. If that's an option. Yeah, fair enough.
Why do birds Suddenly appear.
Is that Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog?
It might
Someday we'll find it. The Rainbow Connection. Oh, let's get that magic back. The lovers, the dreamers, and me.
How do you keep that?
I
Is
don't-
that
I-
such a permanent
It's just a
You've
browser.
You've been caught in the act. Mate. You keep a picture of me on your desktop permanently.
I've just
And I'm-
removed it.
I'm
It's never
screenshotting
coming back.
you.
It's never coming back.
I'm delivering buckets right there.
It's never coming back. I hope you know this.
You look at me like Wolverine looks at Jean Grey in that classic meme. Stroking the picture like, when will I be talking to Buxo again?
That's good. It's good stuff.
Quality.
Where is this going? Oh, I gotta do another window capture. OBS is giving me the shits recently.
Yeah, can we change to something? Is there anything else?
Nah. Nah, well, you could change this Streamlabs OBS. Hang on, I'm gonna add a mask. Sorry, everyone, this is shithouse from me, but you know how we do it here. We build the plane as we're flying.
I just got fingers in my mouth.
Where'd I put my mask though? Fuck, streaming stuff. OBS files, no. New folder, no. Must be in down.
Welcome to fucking amateur hour.
Oh no, here we go. Is it? Is it?
Andrew Buck.
Oh, that's close. That's close.
Are you trying to superimpose me onto this orc?
Relax, my guy. Relax.
What's your entry this year? Oh, it's just Bucks if he was an orc. Eh?
I think I got it. Yes. We're back. Professional streamers right here.
Yeah, just move it to somewhere not in the center of the screen. There you go. Quality.
Hello, mate. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. What have we been doing?
Oh, what have I been doing? I've been painting, mate. I'm painting a lot. I should be coming up with something to talk about for 3 hours, but listen. Would you rather me be someone who stands up there who doesn't paint, or would you rather me be standing up there as someone who does paint?
Well, let's talk about your jam session that is going ahead at the Guild's Inn.
Yeah.
Has the nerves settled in yet?
No, no nerves. Like, I don't have nerves. I spoke in front of people, like, doesn't worry me at all. I think what worries me is delivering something that people actually want to listen to. I can stand in front of everyone and talk a gross amount of shit. Am I a little quiet?
No, I fixed it. It was your audio.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's been a while since we've done this on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's literally been 2 weeks since we've done this, but
I feel rusty. Yeah. So the plan for the jam session is you're gonna get up and talk, and then when you get nervous, you're gonna tag me in. Is that right?
yeah, something like that.
All right.
What I reckon I do is I just get up and ramble about, sort of what I believe in. Because, I mean, if you have a look at what I'm presenting, it's more just conversational stuff. We're not, like, I hope no one's under the expectation that I'll be delivering them
A masterclass.
a masterclass, because
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
Liam's doing a thing on this is how you paint. This is how you make a fucking display base, jungle base, because jungle bases are hot right now.
Yeah.
And you and I, or you rather, just sit there talking about how much you like wanking about desaturated palettes and what have you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And then when I get bored, I'm going to tag you in to talk about an article you wrote 5 years ago or whatever.
I got some mileage out of that article, haven't I?
You have run that article, like the printers have run that article 3 or 4 times. It's just been dressed up in different lingerie each time, hasn't it? Evening, Timbo. How are you, mate?
No, I love it. I love seeing Bucks just hitting the brushes. I love it when you've just got that little bit of pop and you're like, I'm going ham on this, because you've cranked out quite a few in the last few weeks.
I have. I've dropped 3 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So
that's old Deno levels of productivity right there. That's traveling along nicely.
yeah. Whether I've dropped anything good is debatable.
Let's talk about your desaturated girl, because I feel like you don't love it,
I do not love it at all.
and I love it.
Do you really?
I love it, and I didn't think I would, because saturation generation and all that sort of stuff. But I'm all about it.
Yeah. So she actually is really, really, really weird. Okay. If you look at her in different lights, different things happen. So I had Yana yesterday. She looked at it in like normal light, just in her hand, and she's like, "Okay, this is like really desaturated, and like I kind of see what you're going for. It looks more like the artwork that you're going." And then when you put it under a lamp, it looks different again. And when you put it on a black backdrop, it looks completely different. And then when you put it on a white backdrop, it looks completely different again. So I don't know what I've done, but it's making it incredibly difficult to paint. To photo.
Yeah.
Um,
Here she is, for those wondering what we're talking about.
yeah, that's her there.
I mean, the background is not my favourite thing that you've ever done, right? But
the background is just purely from the
and actually it works, and I actually like the texture in that. But I'm in love with the colours that you've managed to just sneak in there, like the magentas, the cold blues that you've managed to pull into there. I think it's magnificent.
Yeah. Magentas, greens, pinks, blues, yellows, oranges. They're all in here. What I'm going to do tonight is, because the overall polish of this is not very good. It needs to be at a higher standard. So hopefully I can achieve that. I've identified an area that I'm pretty weak in, which is I probably leave too much paint on my brush when I'm stipple glazing. And so I need to reduce that down. Actually, randomly, most people obviously know, who come to your stream know me, and probably know how much of a geek I am.
When did you get into stipple glazing, by the way? When did that happen?
I don't use it often, but I think you have to use it for women when you're doing, or for feminine subject matter when you're doing this many colours in something, because the transitions have to be so subtle, and stipple glazing is the only way to really achieve that level of subtlety. So you can hybridize it with airbrushing, and that works really, really well. And that's where I was going with this story, actually. So my YouTube is just filled with, like, I love looking at old shit that people did, like at different parts of their journey. So I was looking at Athami Alonso's channel on a video he did like 3 years ago for painting female skin.
What a jet that guy is! Is that
jet.
Lock and Load, by the way? Lock and Load?
No, I don't think it was Lock and Load. I think it's another sort of sci-fi sort of chick that he did. And I was just looking at it and I was like, man, I am not stripping down the brush enough when I do stipple glazing, like, at all. So I picked that up there, and I'm going to put it into practice now. So hopefully we can clean this up and probably make it more presentable, because I think it's sitting somewhere right now in between something that could be good, but something that if people see it, they're going to go, man, this could have been good.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of another version of Alicia that you did that's still your profile pic on Discord that I hated, because it was exactly the same sort of feeling. It was a concept, but it didn't feel like you'd brought the concept to full fruition.
Yeah.
This one feels a lot closer to me, but it's also less ambitious. Welcome to the stream tonight, Bunny. It's your first time. Thank you for joining us. If there's anything we can do for you to make your time here more enjoyable, please let us know. Happy to sing you a song.
Yeah, so, and I'm not happy with the finish of the skin on the chest either.
Have you smacked a bit of the old Tamiya on there yet, or is it still?
Yeah, mate, I've probably used a whole can on this shit, to be honest. Like, there's been a lot of back and forthing on this one. So
I haven't hit this with any any varnish yet. This guy.
I
So
also the reason why I decided to watch your stream back was that obviously you were painting some display stuff again, and it popped up in my feed. So I was like, well, let's put this on and see what's going on, what's happening in the process. And I noticed you said that Chuck Sprays has been benched for the time being.
yeah, I have not airbrushed
A little bit of the old
anything on this guy.
Henry Bristles is out. Yeah.
Chuck Sprays. Did we decide if that was my porn star name or just my airbrush name?
It's definitely fun.
Yeah, this is not a single airbrush on this yet, except I did a little bit of orange here, which I'm going to tweak some more soon. But yeah, this is all brush, baby, all the time.
Well done. I like it. I like it when you're in a space where you're like, you know what? I've been doing this for 6 years now, 7 years you've been display painting, and you're like still finding new gears to go to.
I think it's maybe seven years.
Yeah.
That I've been doing this, but the no airbrush thing is one that every time I try, I'm just like, no, I can't do that, and it's just such a cop out, like.
Yeah, it is,
because I
can. You're more than skilled.
I can do smooth brush work. I don't have the patience, and so I've been painting this guy for probably more hours than a lot of pieces I've done recently. I mean, other than the dioramas, of course, but you know, and I'm just enjoying.
No, I think you do.
I
think you do have the patience. I just think you've chosen for a while not to exercise the patience, right? This patience is a virtue, which means it can be learned. You know, so once you've got it, you've got it. I think it's just a matter of utilizing it. It's like a tool, right? Falls into the stamina element of miniature painting, which is not talked about enough, but is incredibly important to growing in the space.
Bunny, that's awesome. I love the new version of the girls. I think they're really sweet.
Actually, you really sold me on the girls.
Made me want to buy them. I looked at it and I was like, I want to buy them. They look sweet. That'd be mad. So, go Bunny. So, how many projects are you planning on bringing to?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I can bring my Arc Open entry. I can bring that one, and that's it.
Which one? The
Commissar. I don't have anything else here.
Yep.
I can bring my Soul Rack.
Yep.
I can bring my Bearcron.
Yep.
I can bring this. I can bring like Alice Cross and I think I'll bring Alice Cross and Ablum because they might be important tools to have
for your class.
For the class, well, for the jam session. And then I also have the Aurora Borealis, Ouroboros Orc that I've kind of like. It just needs something. Like it's pretty much completely done. That guy. It just needs something. Maybe you could help me figure out what it needs.
All right, where's a picture of it?
I'll send you one before the stream's out. So, and I'm hoping to paint maybe one or two more things. Devastating. I'm going to have to talk a bit ill of a brand at the moment because I'm pretty disappointed. But so this Alicia, and then I had another thing that I wanted to paint. I wanted to paint both with like a lot of white as the emphasis, or white being really prominent in the desaturation in the way of painting this desaturated method. So I had you remember the piece that I bought on our birthday when we were at House of War? The Broken Toad sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that, and I wanted to do it all with like whites and creams and like really desaturated greens, all sorts. Yeah, like so just like almost picture 2EK's
orange
library. You remember?
Oh yeah, the library. Yeah.
So picture that kind of as the inspiration. Actually, Tui's been a bit of inspiration for this work too. This really desaturated work, but two components are just completely missing. They're just not packed in the box, and they haven't been opened or anything. Like they're all sealed in their plastic. So it's like it's pretty disappointing when that happens.
And Broken Toad hasn't been able to help you.
Well, I only found this out last night at the 11th hour, so it's too late now. But that was going to be my main entry for.
Do you want me to send him a message, mate? Get something shipped out real quick.
You can if you want to, mate, but I don't know. I don't really care. You know, when something like just takes the wind out of your sails?
Yeah, yep.
It's probably safe to say that something like that is.
I was at SMC and I met the guy who does broken toe. He's a really nice dude, and he gave me some of his brushes. He's like, "You got to try these brushes out, mate." Here you go. He gave them to me for free. So I like the dude. He's a nice guy, and I feel like if we just give him a nudge, mate, he'll look after you.
Yeah, well, it's an old model too, right? So
Yeah,
I'm not even sure.
that might be hard though. Why don't you just sculpt that shit?
I just sculpt so the two components missing, Trent, are the top half of the weapon and the bottom half of the weapon. So currently he's got a handle, so I shan't be sculpting a whole new weapon.
I can teach you how to do that if you would like, Andrew.
You could, but not in time again to deliver on this.
Yeah, it is deflating, isn't it? And I was actually a little bit deflated about my two girls project because I was so jazzed about it. And then I started painting the one that I was like less excited about painting, and it was just nothing was working, and it just killed me. I was like, I don't even know if I want to paint this anymore. Yeah. Just absolutely threw me for a six. So when I sat down the other day, funny, I'll tell you a funny story. I went to trivia the other night, and I was trying to say our team name was Two Girls, One Cuck, because there's been two girls.
Yeah. How did that go down?
No, it didn't go down well. They were not supportive of that approach.
I think that's a pretty funny name for a trivia.
Well,
name.
one of the other teams' names was Quiz on Her Face. So I think we could have got away with Two Girls, One Cuck, but it is what it is. Yeah. But pulling out this dude was just was one of the best decisions I've made to whip this dude out. What an absolutely banging model it is.
Yeah, it's a nice one from Black Crow. Black Crow have been doing some cool stuff. They're about to show something else, I believe, aren't they?
Yeah,
they something.
They are. Who would be your favourite at the moment in terms of what they're producing?
That's a great question. I think regardless of favourite at the time or anything, I'd be pretty comfortable in saying that like Black Crow and Hera sit at the kind of, and Big Child are the three that sort of sit at the top of the food chain for me.
Yeah.
And any one of them at any given time can kind of rise into ascendancy. I think probably like overall, like Big Child have delivered a lot of bangers, right? It's tough because they all have like, I don't know.
I have a soft spot for Big Child because of the stuff that they've done that's really just absolutely crushed it, like the Arthurians and that sort of stuff, which has just been
the Spartans.
Yeah, the Spartans.
Orcs. What about the latest Gladiators?
Yeah, the Gladiators. Yeah.
Probably Big Child because they really they traverse a big space with what they deliver, right? Yeah. Like they've got lots of different options for you.
Yeah.
Whereas like Hera kind of sticks in the fantasy, like they have a fantasy range and a sci-fi range, and they kind of all sit within those parameters. Whereas Big Child kind of gives you the epic histories, and they've got the Cyber Girls now. They've got tradition. They've got the Orc wave. The two different Orc waves. Is it two different Orc waves?
Yeah.
Pirates of the Black Coast and then the Jade Seas ones. So.
Yeah, it's Big Child for me, just from a level of consistency. Hera have done some absolute bangers, and so have Black Crow.
The Trudvang stuff's getting really awesome. Like the latest Trudvang one that they've done is really, really great. Black Crow, for like standalone, just constantly delivers really great busts. I think Black Crow.
Yeah.
Neko I think gets like a shout out, Buns, but in their own space they just do cyberpunk really well, right? Cyber sci-fi really well. So
I'm getting a few little humdingers about wanting to start my sci-fi.
Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put those away.
You think it's going to kill me?
Yeah, I think man. I think you got to get back in that rattling off. You need those projects that you're going to have reward like quicker, if that makes sense.
So what's the reward that you think I'm looking for?
Well, I think it's like if I was like analyzing where you're at right now with your painting, I think what reward would look like for you is painting busts and 75 millimeters, just single ones. And maybe each one you are exploring a new system, like in like what you're doing now, like with going to just painting without a airbrush, or a new color, or a new technique, and growing in that space by however much is irrelevant, like but whether it's a little or a lot. But I think if you get back into that learning journey space again, like I think that'd be pretty awesome for you.
It's probably a fair assessment, mate. I think I was mulling the other day if streaming has actually been beneficial for my productivity or detrimental to where my headspace has been at, because on the one hand, having a regular scheduled streaming time just made me paint absolutely without fail. But it also sort of lessened the time that I would paint other than the streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it actually did, because it was constraining my creativity in a way and making me go, yeah, you have to paint this day. And but I do think that it allowed me to explore different approaches to painting things, and being challenged by people in the chat to, hey, do this, do that, actually broadened how I approached some things. So I think it's had a positive effect overall, but I think there's been
Well, I just think that streaming, if you want my honest opinion of streaming, I think that streaming is more helpful to the people you stream to than yourself. I think streaming, like, like, yes, okay, it helps build social media presence and it helps do all that sort of stuff, but I don't think
my social
like,
media presence
yeah,
has died since I started streaming, because instead of posting on my social media, I just come and paint.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
actually worked against me in that perspective.
Um, but like it's another movement towards exposure, I guess, is where
Hmm.
that, like, for most people. So yeah, I don't know. I think you give more when you stream. You maybe take less out of it yourself. So I guess you can sort of kind of like,
I certainly was
I know it's
getting more
hard,
out
but
of
you
it.
can say you have some level of uh what's the word I'm looking for here? Like some level of flowers you can take out for the success of people's painting around you because of how much you've helped them with that. So I think you've got to factor that into
Yeah.
the equation. That's a part of the currency, right?
I think my own personal journey probably took a bit of a plateau after Monty and SMC getting a medal. I just
Yeah.
felt so good about what I'd achieved, and felt validated at all the hours of effort that I'd put in, that it very much just flipped on its head, and I became not that concerned with painting stuff that was awesome, and just became more concerned about painting because I enjoyed it and relaxed. But every now and then, you get a drive and a desire to want to push yourself. And I think one thing I will say is hanging around you and Ben and Bunny and seeing you guys continually level up, and Jared, particularly Jared recently, what a fuckwit,
Yeah.
you know?
It's pulling it out of you again. Well, that's probably factors in, like, and no disrespect to the painting competitions that came before us and when we came along, but we've all been working steadily towards growing the Australian community and scene, and so I think maybe back then it was like once you'd done the Monty and SMC, you're probably sitting there going, look, you know,
Nothing here matters.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thanks,
to put it
Buttercup,
bluntly.
1993.
Yeah, to put it bluntly, exactly that, right? And so you started investing your time in other avenues.
Well, I've definitely put more time into helping the Australian scene, I think, than rather than focusing on my own.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure.
He is.
Is he your daddy? Your old dad.
He would smash me. It is an important investment, Jared, and I feel like it's one that's been a worthwhile investment, but it's also, it's not as selfish. It's at some point you have to make a decision in life to be selfish, right? Otherwise, you don't get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So, finding the right balance of that is the challenge. So, anyway. It's very kind of you to say, mate. Buttercup.
Yeah, I think both of those.
Buttercup, good question. Sorry, Buxo. I'll just quickly answer this question from Buttercup. So I don't actually use a 3D printer regularly. The ones that I have used have been, what's the name of that fucking thing? The Mars 2.
Yeah, the Mars and the Elegoo.
Elegoo, yeah.
Anycubic, but
and the Anycubic. Photon.
Probably asking the wrong guys.
Well, no, I've done a little bit more than you.
Yeah, and that means you've equated to like what? Small prints? How many successful prints?
Yeah, but that's the one that Benny uses, and that was the one that I was very close to buying as a frozen Sonic Mini 4K. Just in terms of the applications that we use it for, that's the level of detail you want to get. I did use Elegoo Mars at my house for a bit. I borrowed it from a friend. It was a Mars 2 Pro. It was good, but I realised that I didn't want to fuck around and learn a whole new thing to be good at, like 3D printing, and instead just wanted to spend more time painting toy soldiers. So that's what I did.
Can we chain that into something? Because
sure.
My God, I just hate taking photos, hey, and it's just something you've got.
But it's a whole skill. It's a whole other skill set. It's fucked.
Yeah, I hate it.
I should put some time into taking like actual other photography shit now, like take photos at weddings or something. Make a bit of extra coin, because
take
all of the
me when we're next together.
We'll
just go somewhere. We'll sit down. We'll get some soft lit lights.
Let's do a pregnancy shoot where we pretend that I'm pregnant and you're you're holding me in the nude.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good times. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Photos.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Ben's really getting some great results on his photos now. He's really starting to dial that in.
I'd like to talk to Benny about his photography, because I still think he's just a fraction overexposed, and it's not fair to his models. Because I haven't seen his models in the flesh recently, but I remember being blown away at QMHE.
Yeah, the difference between the photo and
the photo and the thing, and I was like, man, your photos are just washing out your colours. You've got so much more vibrancy and life in here. You need to make that happen. Anyway, you're about to say something.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like photos. I just can't. Oh, before that. I can't remember now. It was a response to. I think I was saying something to do with Ben saying if you aren't good, you aren't good to anyone, and then time to reward yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. Can't have been that important.
Us doing some great photos of each other in the nude. So what do you think the jam session is going to feel like, mate? What do you want it to talk about?
I think what I want to do is, so my goal is to is the mission statement, right? And the mission statement hasn't changed in the last 2 years, and that's to leave the painting community and the Australian paint space in a better place than what I found it. And what can I do to continue contributing to that? And so this jam session, although it talking about things behind the brush, and then talks about painting concepts and preparing for painting display stuff, that's all quite airy-fairy. Really what it's talking about is, I think, how to get yourself ready for potentially display painting, and then potentially competition-based stuff too. So
So is it more of a mentality conversation then? Is it more
yeah,
about your
I think it's a
mindset?
mentality and psychology conversation. I think this is why talking about your article that you wrote and having you come up and do some talking as well will be good because we're kind of, I think, in a way, two sides of the same coin. The way I might deliver it's probably a little bit more airy fairy, and having the sledgehammer approach that you have um, is really valuable for cutting through the nonsense sometimes with me.
I
Um,
like to use the terminology direct, but if you want to call
yeah,
it sledgehammer, that's fine.
yeah.
I'm okay with
Um,
that.
well, sledgehammer sounds cool, right?
It was my nickname in my footy team for a while.
Oh, sledge. Yeah.
Sledge.
Um, yeah. So yeah, I think what I want to do is challenge the people in the room to figure out what they are looking to get out of display painting. What I want to ask them is what they're currently doing with display painting and how they think it can get better. Like themselves, I want to ask them to set some short-term goals and some long-term goals. Maybe talk a little bit about my own personal journey with painting, and because something that I do get asked a bit is like, wow, you kind of got good quick, right? And that's an illusion, really. I
It,
didn't
it
actually get good quick.
it is an
I
illusion, and
I
it's
painted a lot,
yeah.
like so much that it's like people might be baffled by how much I painted in the. I just did it in a short period of time, you know.
That's the thing. It's not getting good in a short period of time when you look at the number of hours that you spent on painting.
Yeah,
Because I did a similar thing, probably not quite as quickly as you,
yeah,
but being able to just dedicate yourself and have that single-minded drive is the thing that will help you more so than, well, I need to be a painter for 2 years before I can be good.
yeah,
No, you need to paint for 60 hours or you need to paint for
yeah,
160 hours. When you do that, that's when you'll be able to have
yeah.
the mechanical and the understanding and all that sort of shit.
Yeah. Nothing like I still most of my teachings and stuff are based off, you know, are really still based off like core fundamentals I learned, like whether it was from you or from like
Games
others
Workshop.
in the space, Games Workshop or whatever. You know what I mean? Like lots of stuff is all rolled into one, but like fundamentally there are only two things you need, right? Knowledge and practice. That is it. There is no there's no special words here. There's no slick ways to say it. It's just these two things. And at some point you're going to need both at the same time, and at other points you're going to need one or the other. And it's just that simple. Like that's but you know, helping people figure out their process to working that out, like to actually adopting that mentality, right? And then acting on it. Maybe that's something the jam session can be beneficial for, you know. So it is important to think about like how you have your space set up. Like, is your space actually set up like to be creatively conducive for you? You know, I talk to people and some of the stuff like I guess when you sit at the more pointier end, you don't think about a lot of this stuff. But you know, I'll talk to someone and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm interested in display painting," and then I'll probe the conversation further, and we'll get 30 minutes into talking about painting, and then they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, it's just tough because I have to break down or like reset up my setup every time I want to do painting," you know?
Yep.
And you're like, "Okay." So
Wish I had
there's
known that before I wasted the last 30 minutes of my time trying to tell you how to be a better painter. You can't
yeah,
be a better painter until you sort that shit out. Full stop.
yeah,
Conversation over.
that's it. And everyone's at different parts of the journey, and so there'll be different little pieces of information for each person. Um, I think it'll be important to gauge the level of skill in the room before to like talking about certain stuff. Like,
I remember the first class I did. I did it to a bunch of friends, and it was a trial run before I did, proper classes. And I remember just sort of bouncing some ideas off and asking them what they
yeah,
thought was important to understand.
yeah,
And I really like the concept of the jam session because it's a collaborative experience as opposed to
yeah,
someone talking at you and you like writing down notes or whatever. It's much more about let's have a conversation, let's understand where you're at and where
Yeah.
these people are at, so that we can try to find a way for them to understand the overall message that you and I are always fucking saying, mate, is just
Yeah.
fucking paint. If you want to get better, just paint.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So there's lots of things, right? Like, so then we can start diving into what just painting means, because we have to find out what's stopping people from painting as well. So I hope we get the opportunity to talk about some of those challenges. An exercise that I really want to do with people, but I'm not sure how it will go down, is like a one step forward, sort of one step back process, where we talk about all of the challenges you might face in your life, right? Like for getting in the way, or barriers, let's say, rather than challenges in life, barriers that get in the way of your painting. So if you work 40 hours, take a step backwards.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 2 kids, take a step backwards. If you play sport, take a step backwards. Take a step forwards if you have 30 hours available. Take a step forward if you have 30 hours available after your work to paint each week. Because like there are certain things that are going to elevate your painting quicker than other things. So, but I think the importance of an exercise like that is for people. It's not to compare with each other about who's got more resources in order to get themselves closer to their goal. What it's there and designed to do is to make you reflect on what resources you do have, and then set fair and reasonable expectations along with the resources you've got.
Yeah.
Right? Because, someone might sit there and go, oh, but I've got no time during the week. And then when you actually look, it's like, well, actually, yeah, you don't have a lot of time. So we need to set more reasonable goals and expectations.
The old goal setting. If only someone wrote an article about goal setting.
Yeah.
It's such a relevant point though, right? Someone comes to me and says, "Oh, Deno, I want to win a fucking medal at a thing." It's like, okay, how are you going to achieve that? What is it that you need to do to achieve that? And they're like, well, I want to win that medal, but I don't want to give up anything that I'm already doing. I just want you to help me be able to do that in 2 days. It's like, mate, that's not going to happen. You are never, ever, ever going to be able to achieve that goal with the lack of sacrifice that you're willing to make. And I think it's always important to bring it back to why do you paint? Start with why. What is your focus? Is your focus to get better and enter competitions and be successful? Then you absolutely have to sacrifice other aspects of your life, your hobby, to be able to achieve that. But if your goal is to have fun and to just kick around some time with mates, then by the same token, you can't turn around and go, well, I also want to win medals. You can't do that.
No, they don't exist.
Which is why when I went down to Arc Open, I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed I got 2 silvers. I was fucking jazzed I got 2 silvers, mate, because I was like, I haven't done any shit for painting. I've just been painting and talking to dudes. It's been awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah, realistic expectations, realistic goals, and being self-aware, knowing where you're actually at in your journey.
Hey, Broadside, how are you, champion? No, the boobs were Bucks' latest project, and I just realised we had boobs on the screen for about 40 minutes, which is probably going to be a breach of Twitch terms of service or something, but we'll be fine. We'll work it out. Twitch don't care about me. I'm too small.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of that stuff. I hope I don't shatter anyone's dreams and I tell them there probably won't be too much technique talk. I think there's an absolute abundance of technique work out there. At some point I would like to add to it, but I'm not sure that the jam session is the space for it. Like you said, the jam session is really supposed to be a collaborative effort between us as leaders and the people there with us who are looking to maybe take something away. But that doesn't preclude the people who are there from taking away from having some awesome things to say and maybe having some things we haven't even thought about. So,
what a magnificent article that is. Whoever wrote that is an absolute fucking champion.
You're giving away all the quality before next week.
I did a training course at work a couple of years ago now, and it's interesting. it was called Inside Out Coaching.
Yeah.
And it was all about, very, very rarely do people not know like what they need to do. You know, the knowledge is already inside for a lot of people, or in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you imagine people are like a cup, sometimes you try and tell them stuff, and their cup's already overflowing, right? So you communicate ideas, techniques. This is what you should try. You should do this. You should do that, and it sort of goes in, but it doesn't really stay in because their cup's already full. So what you need to do is find ways to remove roadblocks from what they already sort of know they need to do, and then once you've sort of opened up the mindset and have them thinking differently, that's when you can add a little bit more to their cup. So the talk about removing roadblocks in terms of what you want to talk about is a really fundamentally good approach for probably a lot of people in this space, because fuck mate, we absorb so much information just by looking at the internet, particularly in the miniature world, that most people have all of the knowledge they need. It's the skill, the time, the desire. That's where they'll find
can
it.
I give you a great one? So I have a fella who comes and does some painting with me, and I had taught him how to paint faces. Now, granted, this is for like upper wargaming level. I taught him out faces, right? And then the next time I saw him, he turned back up, and he's like, "All right, I want you to teach me how to do non-metal metallic now." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. And he's like, "Oh, how come?" And I'm like, "Because making me an infinite spring of knowledge for you is pointless if you're not actually practicing the things that we learn."
Yeah.
Right? So I've taught you how to paint a face. I've equipped you with the knowledge, yet you've done zero practice. So what's happened is I've upheld my end of the bargain in the learning relationship. You have not upheld yours. So you need to go away, paint some faces. In the interim, I'll show you a technique that will hold the place of non-metal metallic, so that when you're ready, we can do it. But that's the kind of buy-in I need. And to that person's credit, he sort of, he was a little bit caught off guard by my directness in regards to not giving him something that he wanted. But about 15 minutes in, he's like, "No, you're really right." And I need to go and practice this stuff. So that falls into the same thing, doesn't it?
It does, sort of. No, it does.
Yeah.
That's an example of someone thinking that they need more knowledge when they actually need more skill. And that's a common issue that we face in this hobby, is people thinking, you know what, I'm just going to sign up for this Patreon. That's going to give me what I need to be a better painter. And that will not give you what you need to be a better painter unless you back it up with the practice, the discipline.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have you met someone, like, I know I definitely have. I've met someone and like I talk to them about painting and they know so much.
Yeah.
They know so much, and then I'm like, talk to them about, "Oh, so what have you been painting?" They're like, "Oh, not."
Yeah, don't paint. I just watch videos.
And then they show me something, and then I'm like, "Oh, your skill set does not match your knowledge in any way, shape, or form."
Hey, Sleepy Slang.
Hey, Sleepy. We if we can and Sleepy's okay with it. I mentioned that we would have a look at some of his more recent works.
Would love to. Sleepy Slang.
I'm gonna let you lead the feedback, because Sleepy's been like very specific on what he wants feedback on, because it's about being fast, and that is your sort of expertise. I believe it's being quick, based on the fact that he does sell his pieces on Etsy, so they're time bound, and so it's about delivering quality while also functioning with speed.
I am absolutely noted for finishing quickly in more ways than one. Whenever you're ready, Sleepy Slang.
You can link us, or we can just go grab your stuff from.
I shan't be doing any grabbing. You send me the links, please.
Yeah, send the. I'm painting as well tonight, mate. So I'm not call boy. So you'll have to chuck it in the chat for us, or if someone's floating around the Discord, they can grab them as well. It's basically any of the last ones you've done, isn't it, mate? I didn't realise Sleepy's from Germany too.
You're in Germany, you dog.
I thought he was in Australia, hey man, but I suck at this, hey.
Guten Morgen, Sleepy slang. I haven't got much else German. I can do Guten Abend, which is good evening, and I can do Guten Nacht, which is good night. Danke. Yep. And bitte. No. And then there's a really funny story where, so I was in Germany for the OETC or the WTC a few years ago with my mate Gav, and Gav's just an A grade pest, right? He makes me look like a walk in the park, right? So take that, you know me well, right? Yeah. So take that to know how much of a pest Gavin is. So he's
You're talking about Gav Clarkey.
Yeah, Clarkey, yeah.
Yeah, so, I know him.
How do you know Clarkey? He's a pest.
He used to work in my local shop when I was younger.
He's an all-time pest. Anyway, so I'm over in this German pub, and we've gone to this pub because they played Warhammer at this pub. It was the best there was this little local, and you walk in there and you're like, what is happening here? And there's a room at the back where there's tables and there's just guys playing Warhammer, and it was wild. But there was one dude serving behind the counter of the pub. Yeah. And if you walked up and ordered food, right, the dude would be like, ugh. He wouldn't say much, and then he'd just sort of trundle off, and then he'd go start making it. So I walked up there, and I'm not great on German, but I understand the term Schweinschnitzel, right? So I said, I'll have a Schweinschnitzel, thanks, danke. So the guy just is like, ugh, and he walks over to the thing, and he starts frying up my schnitzel and my chips, and he's sitting there sort of waiting for it, and there's people lining up to get beers, and he's just standing over there cooking my Schweinschnitzel. So Gav comes over and he's like, what did you have? What are you getting? I said, I'm having pork schnitzel. And he's like, oh, awesome. I'll order one of those. And so the guy comes back with my schnitzel, and he puts it in front of me, and I paid him whatever it was, €4 or something ridiculous because it's Germany. And he said, Gav goes, pork schnitzel. Doesn't understand a word of German. And the guy's like, da, Schweinschnitzel. And Gav's like, no, I don't want Schwein, I want pork.
And swine.
Yeah. And the guy's like, Schweinschnitzel. And Gav's like, no, I don't want Schwein, I want pork schnitzel. And he fucking started shouting at this guy, and the guy's just shaking his head. He's looking at me. I didn't want to say anything because I was laughing too hard. I was just enjoying Gav looking like an absolute peanut.
Yeah.
Anyway, that night was one of the funniest nights of Warhammer I can remember, because the Danes turned up. And gosh, the Danes are attractive blokes, right? There's not one of them who is not at least a 9 out of 10. The rig on them, they're just all absolute specimens of Warhammer. One of them decided to have a game with Gav, and Gav bet him something ridiculous. And the guy's like, tell you what, I'll play you in the nude and you have to do this. And Gav's like, whatever, mate, we're in a bar in Germany. You'll never do that. 3 seconds later, the Dane got his kit off, and he's standing in this German pub playing a game of Warhammer, absolutely stark, raving nude. So Gav's pulled his shirt off, and he started. He's not an attractive man, Gavin, much like myself. Disgraceful rig, and so he's playing this incredibly good-looking naked guy in a game of Warhammer.
Yeah. Were they getting towed up too?
Oh, he got smashed, and it was all time. Anyway, I'm going to look at some of Sleepy Slang's models now, because that was a fun time. Oh, okay, cool. So you want me to lead the feedback?
Well, I just think it's one of the rooms in the wheelhouse for you, mate.
It's very nice of you to say that, Andrew. But all right.
Also, I know you were Sleepy's first choice, mate.
No, don't be ridiculous. I was his second choice. Second choice. I heard a rumour you're the best painter in Australia now, mate, so.
Well, that's absolutely, utterly wrong.
All right, let me understand what is it that you want to improve? Because I don't look at this and go, wow, this is a guy who needs lots of feedback on tabletop standard, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like is it you want to up the quality while not sacrificing how fast you're going in order to charge more, like to make more money, or do you think there's like some more crowd pleasing steps that you could go for that might, help it along?
Yeah. What's the outcome that you would like from this feedback?
I mean, look, if I was playing a game against one of your clients and they turned up with these, I'd be stoked to be on the other side of the table too.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice tabletop standard. I would say the probably the avenue for you to move into is actually stop painting tabletop for a while and start painting display figures and find what the difference is, because for me I almost find the two interchangeable now. I can move from a tabletop figure to a display figure with almost exactly the same process. I just add more steps. And I feel like that probably wouldn't be the case for you. I think you'd be much more, I'm gonna paint this to a tabletop standard and this is the approach I take. Whereas if I'm trying to do a display figure, I'm gonna do it in a completely fundamentally different way. So I think finding the method for how you paint a display figure and working out what things you do there and how you can bring that back into your tabletop painting, that would be a mindset that I would probably recommend. But I think the number one thing I say to literally everyone that asks for feedback is more value contrast. And I think that would be the one thing that I would step into with this. If you wanted to really make this pop, just add some absolute banging high value highlights on the edges of armor and the red and probably the rooftop. Will just really, I mean that's for me, that's the difference between tabletop and display figures. When you see them on the table, the tabletop figures just, you lose them because there's so many of them and they just look like shit. But a display figure, a well painted display figure, just absolutely pops off the table because of value contrast. Also, your non-metallic metal and the swords is shit ass. Go Bucks before I bring up another one.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I mean, I like the color composition. I think color choices is really important when you're doing smaller scale stuff. Like you can lean on color wheel stuff a little more than when you're doing display, because display is more space to, you might have like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 colors present in just the skin alone when you're doing display stuff. But when you're doing this small scale stuff, good color choices go a really, really long way.
Well, if that's the case, if the cave does have a lot of contrast from the top view, that's a good thing, but you don't get it from the front view. So take a photo of the cloak.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have a look at the front of the hood, though, the front of the hood's really like quite loud in its color,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't translate as much.
Yeah, so that's good, but the 70% of that is still shithouse in terms of how much value contrast there is. If you know what I mean. Let me look at another one. I like this more. Haven't I already given you feedback on this? I feel like I've seen this guy before.
You've probably seen most of them before because he's been dropping them pretty quickly in the chat. But
I like this guy. He's sick. This guy's good.
yeah,
Yeah. This is yeah. If this was mine, I'd be stoked because it's punchy, it's vibrant, it's got good color contrast. You know, you got orange and green, secondary palette, almost orange and blue if you look at it. You know. So you got your complementaries.
also, though, there is a line. Like, there's only so far you can go where you're like, I want to be fast, but also be really good.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that. You know, like eventually there's a line you reach where you can't go any further.
Yep.
I personally think where it's just going to require more time, and then eventually you spend more time, and then the time comes back down again.
Yep. Yeah, I think the real solution for you is start to think about how you approach display painting, do some display painting, do some serious display painting, and then come back to your tabletop world and see how that's changed your fundamental approach, see how it's made you think about things in a different way, and maybe things that you thought were really important are not as important, and maybe things that you hadn't valued before, all of a sudden you're thinking about more. I mean, my experience with display painting completely changed how I approached painting board game stuff. I spend way less time on board games and wargame figures now than I ever did in the past. And they look 10 times better. Because I don't fuck around with extraneous detail. I just focus on big contrast and making a few key areas look awesome. And that's why I like this one, right? Because you got two key areas, which is non-metallic metal and green fabric. And they both look awesome.
Also, you stop caring as well, right? You start realizing that, like, I think you start realizing that you don't have to paint everything you ever paint to the exact same level all of the time. And in fact, why would you? It's almost like once you get that self-belief that you know you can paint, you know, you're like, I know I can paint. I don't have to prove this to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't have to prove this in every single wargame piece that I do.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people never get out of that, right?
Yeah.
And they're always like, oh, but this, you know, like I could do this like to box art standard or whatever. And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
You're not paid by a company to sit in a room for 8 hours and do this.
You're not Angel Valdez. Just relax, my guy.
If you want to be, then yes, you can, you know, then pursue that. But
you're a good painter, dude, but you're probably coming to the wrong people for advice on how to be better at this tabletop painting, because I would not say that is our area of expertise at this point in time. Our area of expertise is wanking each other off about how great we are. Because Bucks is one of the best in the world right now.
Shut up! You're full of shit. Not even close.
You're a dickhead.
You're a dickhead. That is the sad state of getting better, Trent. Is the better you get, the more knowledge you attain, the more you realise you are so far away from this.
Agreed. A man who knows he is a wise man is a fool.
Yeah.
And a fool who knows he is a fool is a wise man. Just keep painting Sleepy Slang. Try to do some display stuff. See how that...
You'll definitely get there, mate. Like, you will definitely get there. I think what you might have needed is a little bit of cheerleading as well, because you're doing a great job. Your models look great.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are stoked to have them in their collection. So...
you talk about the dragon. Yeah, no, the dragon's not good. Dark colours are hard for tabletop. Very hard. Very hard. It's fine. It doesn't need to be fucked up, mate. I don't need to fuck you up for that because it's fine. It's just fine. In fact, that is all you're going to get for pretty much tabletop stuff from us. Is good job on painting your toy soldiers. Well done. You know what I mean? That's all you need. Good job, guy.
Keep it up. Keep going.
Bucks.
The solution to getting better is doing it more.
Yeah, although someone once said that the definition of insanity is repeating the same task over and over again, expecting a different result. So,
Albert.
Find something slightly different that you can approach each time. Bucks, I've been putting radiant flesh into my green skin tone.
Are you loving it?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Look at his face.
It's based in orange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Radiant flesh.
Look at that. Look at that face.
Yeah.
It looks sick.
It does. Can I make a suggestion?
I'd love your suggestion, Andrew.
Well, you know what you can put into it as well? That, like, if you want to, you can add pinks and it'll look pretty awesome too.
We were talking about this earlier in the stream, and pinks would definitely look awesome. But, and this is the but.
No, don't add pinks.
No,
pink
I know.
Don't raw dog pink.
I'll raw dog whenever the fuck I want, mate.
Add pink into your radiant mix.
Yeah, alright. That could maybe fly. But no, what I was going to say is there is a very cold tone to the majority of this palette.
Yeah, so you're getting a bit of warmth.
If we put too much warmth in, it's going to pull focus away from, you know, the subtleness that I've got. And subtle's not a word that's usually associated with me, so maybe I'm reaching with that.
Yeah, but you can also use that to control focus too.
Yeah. What the fuck is a raw dog pink? It's funny being Australian sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Raw dog means just go straight pink. You go in without any lubrication or anything. Just raw dog it in there.
Raw dogging is basically performing an act with no regard for the human life. Right? Like, that's what raw dogging is.
Yeah.
I can't, raw dogging in Australia is also a term for unprotected sex.
It's good times.
So when we say raw dog it, it's a combination of all of these things. Colloquialisms in Australia are a bit loose, a little bit sloppy, aren't they, Trent?
They can be fun, yes.
Yeah.
It's a good one. All right, I think I'm gonna pull out some airbrush now. Just want to add some little splotches of color and see how I feel about it.
Good. You're not putting like a filter over everything, though.
No. I'm just gonna do.
You'll lose all of your.
Just gonna do some little.
Subtlety.
Sergio it a bit,
Yeah. Cheat in some colours where you feel you need it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of pink or red under the bicep.
We'll go a little bit in the elbows and that sort of thing. Sleepy slang. Unfortunately, because my touch football night changed to Monday nights, we've had to park Party Mondays for a bit. We've now got What About Me Wednesday. What about me? So that's what we're dealing with. Bit of What About Me Wednesday. Please, Bunny, should the nipples be darker? I'm not very good with painting nipples, as you well know. I've asked to see your nipples on multiple occasions. Hasn't gone down as well as I thought it would.
Not green. Yeah.
Pinky nipples.
Pink can work, but
should I move into the?
They'll really, really stand out. You can go like really dark.
Should I move into the radiant flesh colours maybe?
I reckon you go darker personally. Yeah, purple's a good choice.
Damn, thought I was one of the only ones.
I think darker though. I'm voting for darker. Otherwise, they'll look like headlights. Yeah.
All right, we're coming in with some dark green. What should I paint next?
That's a good question. I was going to ask you the exact same thing tonight about what I should.
Well, let's pick for each other. All right.
Okay.
It'd be a wonderful way for us to just.
I'm ruling Athena is off the table.
Oh no! Why?
Because this is not Paint Athena competition.
I could.
There is enough Athenas going to this competition.
What? There's two.
I think Liam's taken one too.
Is he?
Yeah,
Oh fuck! So. Maybe I won't bring mine.
So that's 3.
All right.
And I think Ray is also taking one. So
that's awesome. I'm glad that mine's going to be there now. Then. All right. Let's tweak a little airbrush. Little Bobby Dazzler. Little Chuck sprays.
The level of subtlety required to paint really desaturated is a newfound appreciation for those desaturated painters out there.
All right, let's start with a dark green, and we're going to use Despair Green, which is one of my favourite colours. If I can find it, and if there's any of that fucker left. Because it's almost run out, and I'm going to cry when it runs out because it's my favourite colour. It's up there with my favourite colours. Oh, maybe we'll try this one actually. This one's a Misfits Green. G'day Bear Cave. Welcome, champion.
Hey, Bear.
Let me see if this is dark enough. Yeah, I want a bit more blue in it though. Maybe I'll mix a bit of blue. We might do some pistachio. Just calm your farm, sleepy slang. It's early days. We're just doing some colours. Oh, there's the fucking Despair Green. So I do have a Spira up my sleeve to paint. I've got 2 Spiras actually. One's off the table, which is the 7 Dwarves.
Where'd you pull that one from? Who sorted you that?
DC.
DC.
Yeah.
What a star.
Yeah, he's a fucking all-timer. What about a little cheeky Baba Yaga?
Do you have a Baba Yaga?
Yeah.
When did you get a Baba Yaga?
Oh, a while back.
Who'd you score it off?
Fucking some dude on the internet. It was only 30 of them made, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Are you, which one are you thinking? You thinking the Karl Rudik?
Yeah, I thought you already painted that. I thought that had been gone.
Yeah, that has been gone. From Kingdom Death. Sitting on a throne of dicks. Yeah, I got her. You want her? She yours, bun.
Hey, has our thingo water come?
Yeah,
Nice.
bring it down for you. No, you don't pay me anything, bunny. Send me photos of your nips. I meant your models painted nips, mate. Alright. Purple. Cold purple. It's nice to be able to do nice things for your friends, bun, so we'll just give it to you, mate. There's my purple. That's another one of the options that I got on the table.
What?
Is one of those ones.
The Kingdom Death model?
No, the dudes from the
From
that Kickstarter that we got.
Speaking of Kickstarters, Torp's got a Kickstarter up.
Torbjorn?
Yes.
It's all anatomicals, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a 75 mil in there as well.
Is there? Oh, that's a fucking bit much, Deno. Bit much purple. Jeez Louise, look at that. Get some of that up, yeah. Too much.
I have Eunice prepped and ready to paint. From Black Sun. But I'm just not sure I want to paint it on weight.
A bit much there, yeah.
I think I really need to be painting
Ladies.
yeah.
I think you do as well.
I think I've ran from them for long enough.
In terms of painting Sleepy Slang, my ATO collection is finished, so there will be no more painting videos. But I have 2 more episodes, I think, of the actual playthrough to go. No painting. No more painting anyway. Alright. Pink. Nice. That's what we like. Thanks, bud.
So do you find it challenging at all, like transitioning 2-dimensional art concepts to 3D?
I found it a really good exercise to push myself towards. Oh, that is what I wanted. That is what I absolutely needed in my life. Thank you, Bun.
What, did you get a foot pic of yourself?
of the nugs.
Yeah.
Of the griffers. No, I did not. She sent. I'm sure she'll share it in the chat.
Yeah. Also, I was thinking about changing Alice Cross's hair.
She's done, mate. Leave her alone.
No, I could go back if you
Leave
want
her
to.
alone. Leave her alone.
Go back if you want to.
She's had enough. Stop hitting her. She's already dead.
Yeah, something just popped up. No, you can definitely go back in time. Oh, look at that.
I know.
Stunning.
That's majestic, isn't it?
Yeah, stunning. What a creature. I think creature is the correct term. Absolute lizard. Absolute reptile. For everyone in the stream, we just received image of a certain stream spectator flashing their nips aggressively with a sultry look on their face, like really staring directly into my soul.
Into my soul.
Its eyes, yeah. That'll give us the strike if we put that up. Very gross. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to let that set for a bit and just think about it. All right, I'm going to show some models off. This is what you need to decide for me to paint next, Bucks.
Sure thing.
Then we can head over to Bucks Cam and you can decide. Hello, Jared.
This exercise never works.
What, painting up in 2D?
No, just picking
Yeah, I know.
picking projects.
You got to be inspired, but we'll try.
Yeah.
Okay. Which ones are yours of these, by the way?
I have the big Viking. And,
So, this guy?
Zion, and yep. So I have Attle, yeah. And is it Zion and Squee or something?
Zion
like
and Dia.
yeah.
Yeah, you got those two. I really like
Yeah.
him. I wish I got him now.
Zion and Dia or the Viking.
Yeah. Or did you get?
Yeah.
Did I get this one, the Druid one, or did you get the Druid one?
No, you got the Druid.
Yeah, I got
you
the
liked
Druid.
him.
I do
You
like
like the old man.
I really like this guy now. I'm sad I didn't get him.
You're
Yep.
regretting your decision.
And then I got this one.
To tell you to get this model.
I know. I got this one with. It did say Shark Queen. This one, which what's his name did. Hello
Yeah.
guys, it's me Marco.
Did you also get Zion?
Not
as
just
well,
Mecca.
or
No,
not?
no.
Right.
I'm
You made
upset.
some terrible choices.
No,
pal.
you made
some
you made terrible choices. I regret that one. I don't regret that one. You'll do a better job anyway. So that's my two, and I'll bring your two down.
Yeah.
I got this dude on the Piggo.
Yeah.
He's probably a bit elaborate. I feel, because you got to
No,
remember,
he doesn't do anything for me.
I'm in Tasmania for the next week, so the likelihood that I'm going to get a massive
It'll
amount
need
of
to
time.
probably be a bust.
Yeah, I think so too. So we could do this Inu, Erinus.
Erinus is good. She could be really good.
I've got not doing her.
I've got an idea. What have you enjoyed painting the most out of the orc so far?
That bust, the orc.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just enjoyed painting his skin.
Okay, so
And
what can we
or I
can
could
we
do
carry
Israel.
on from painting that into the next one?
Well, maybe I should. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too big for me to do one of the other ones. Maybe I should do. Maybe I should. Well, fuck. This is hard.
Yeah.
I've got this one. These jewels. They're pretty ladies though. They're a bit different to the skin of an orc.
The jewels, so these are interesting, right? These, although they may feel a little bit busy, I think they can be still painted pretty beautifully.
I think I've got
That
one
is
sitting.
nice.
I've got.
No one paints that one.
I know. I got this one sitting here, and it just did my head in. I found it so hard to find a way to balance all of the shit that was happening. But I think I could probably finish that in probably not too long.
To balance her, I think if I can throw a suggestion, it needs to change the shadow color to be a color rather than just a like really dark browny, magenta-y, reddy color. I think an actual shadow color like under the boob would be really good. Something that contrasts with all the other colors.
I didn't quite get her lighting right either. Like,
Yeah, I think you chose the wrong cheek.
yeah, it's a tough figure to paint.
Yeah,
all the angles are wrong. She's looking down. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll finish her at some point, but she's not probably one I'm enthusiastic about. Yeah, so we could do this one, which is just a cheeky little number 12 of 37 Baba Yaga.
Isra would be cute. Yeah, yeah. Look,
Just
it's
that.
probably a no from me on that.
I've got a commission for that. So as soon as I paint that, it's gone. It's sold.
Is someone buying that?
Yeah.
Is it the same person who bought your
Witches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, yeah, Israel. I haven't done. No one's really done a version of this other than DC that jumps to mind.
DC's one of this is so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'm not sure I'm in the mood to paint a pretty lady though. She's a nice pretty lady though. Closed eyes is so hard. Painter
You've got closed eyes, yeah. So
Painter is
closed
Gloria
eyes.
Gaynor. At first I was afraid. I was petrified.
You're not really sitting on a lot.
I got a few more up there. I got
You
our.
know, you could just pull out a big child, like the big child orcs that we're both sitting on for the bio we're gonna do. Like
Yeah,
you could
just-
paint any
just
one
do
of
one.
those. Like
Yeah.
we can get them back so quickly.
Yeah. All we gotta do is pull them off a base if we want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got Oz, which is obviously not on the table.
Yeah.
What's this bust? Oh, I got this guy. This could be fun.
Yeah, Drakarl's a really cool model. I think you should do this. I think you should do this because you'll be able to carry on the inspiration from the orc that you've been doing into Drakarl.
How big is he? I'm not gonna have a lot of time. That's the thing. I get back.
You'll get 2 weeks.
No, I won't even get that. I'll get about 11 days, including about 8 work days.
Yeah.
$11 is a lot of time for me,
I
but
think that's a lot of time.
this is a lot of detail on this figure. Maybe I need to go something simpler. Alright. Your votes, Bucks. I'll give you Drakarl.
And Ezra.
No.
Not Ezra.
No,
Irenis.
I'm taking her off the table, but I'll leave her because I feel like she's
Irenis is who
easier.
I like, yeah. Irenis, the cool thing about Irenis is she always looks good at events. She's one of those weird busts, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone we've seen of her has looked pretty good at an event. Like she's
Or
got
this,
good lines.
or this bad boy. I do like good lines on a lady. I haven't looked at these. I haven't cracked any of these actually. Let's have a look at the Champions of Sona from Squidmar Miniatures. Casted by Mindworks Studio. Didn't know that. Probably why it took so long. Ho, ho, ho.
That's who is my boy? So it's I can't say his last name.
Matteo de Diamedi. Hello there, Lau de Lucas, rating with a party of 23. Welcome. Hola, Jiqueta. Buenos dias, my friends. Welcome. Hello from Spain.
Hello.
Pelogi. Hola. Well done. You speak a lot more English than I speak of Spanish. So,
A lot more.
buenos dias. We are about to finish up stream very soon, but this is what I've been painting on stream. So, almost finished this champion. What were you painting tonight, friends? Thank you. Here's a few other pieces I've done. You can have a look at these while I'm deciding what to paint next. This lady. These girls. I will. Pelogi, let's go right now. Followed. Done. Let's go and have a look at the page. Everyone, I don't do very well at shout outs, but go follow this channel. Yes, so this is the sort of stuff I paint pretty poorly. I'm having a look at this Champions of Sona Kickstarter models at the moment. So you joined us looking at that. This is the little barbarian wizard guy, Bucks. Ooh, the cast,
I think he's a sick model.
the cast is nice actually.
Paint him.
You reckon?
Yeah. Paint him and use Frank Frazetta stuff as inspiration. Or
Yeah, we could go some Frazetta.
James, what's his name? The other artist that inspires a lot of Mindworks sculpts and prints and stuff.
Oh yeah. Ah. Huh.
Hey, before I forget,
Yeah.
some awesome news went up over the last few few days, eh?
Which one?
In the miniature painting world.
Oh,
As
Verco's.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I talked about it on Thursday, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Like this this community is always been really supportive of each other, but I don't know that the wider art community has much of an idea about miniature art. And so
Yeah.
to have a space that is going to open up our exposure to other artists, it's awesome, so exciting. So yeah, oh, this is a cool model. I made a good decision with this guy.
So are we going for open?
Well, yeah, I'm locked in. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
The
We're
day
doing
the
it.
day it opens, I'll be there. We'll be
The
there for
grand
the grand opening for sure.
Well, my goal is to have 30 pieces there by then.
Wow, that is an ambitious goal.
We're already at 15.
I don't know if I will be able to make that goal.
You already have more than that.
Well, I don't think so. I think, Camelot's one piece.
Ah, here we go. Bell end.
He's a cool guy. It would be fun to paint this dude. Maybe we do him. Have I got a plinth for him though, actually?
Jim's up the road, mate.
Jimmy's up the road. I'll just send him a message. Jimbo, help me out. Oh, this looks like it might work, actually. This little square one. Is that going to work? Might have to do some trimming, but that could work. Ah, thank you. CHK is
CHK.
he is one of our heroes. We love Tony. He is just one of the best people. Love him, love him, love him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him stream for a while. Just time syncs probably not matching up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's been busy. I love that guy. He's such a dude. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much finished here. I'll give him a varnish. Maybe I'll go varnish him now actually and see how it looks. Yeah, I'm gonna go varnish him while you think about what you're gonna do, Bucks.
Well, the question is, to taking 3 barbarians too much?
Never.
What's my plan? That's a good question, Sleepy. So I'm taking. I've got the more barbarians the merrier. Yeah, I've got Solrak and I've got Bearcrom to take. And then I've got like an orc who kind of is a little bit barbarian in just the nature of what you're painting, subject matter wise, like the textures and stuff. But I've got Northern Winds.
Ooh, Northern Wind.
I have Northern Winds, and I think I could do a cool Northern Winds.
You should do
But
Northern Wind.
I'm worried that it's a little bit like much of a muchness. Samey. It's going to be a thick boy fiesta. Look, I've done 2 very, very thick boys, so I probably can not do a third one for this event. Expect to see more thick boys in the future from me.
I'm partial to a thick boy myself.
But I'd like to be painting some fantasy stuff. I've not painted a lot of fantasy stuff this year. I don't really count big boys as fantasy stuff.
I just love a Tamiya. Just magnificent. Makes me look like an actual good painter. That's just...
Do you like it for the finish as well, or do you put another little finish over the top once it's done with the Tamiya? Find sometimes the Tamiya can mat it out too far.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'll
Some
tweak a
people
little
just
bit.
really love the matte finish, right?
I do. I still love ultra matte. What I've found more recently is I'm not ultra matting during the process anymore because I don't feel like I need to, because I sort of know what the colors are going to do when I do matte it out. Normally I was using this to try and help my eyes understand what it was going to look like at the end, and I don't think I need to do that as much anymore. But and I'm also using my airbrush less, so I don't feel like I need to seal the colors as much anymore or anything like that.
Yeah, you really got to seal your colours in when you're airbrushing it. Otherwise, you start lifting layers up.
Yeah, I sat down and I didn't have the intent to do green. I sat down with an intent to go more into a human skin tone. And then I just realised that I like green orcs because I do.
Green orcs don't get done as much either.
Yeah.
Stupid as
People
that
should-
sounds.
people
In
should
display
do.
space, do they?
People should do more green orcs. Green orcs are great. Did we settle? I think we're doing Eridanus. I think that's what we're going to try for, because that way I won't feel like...
Eridanus meets the criteria, right? Like, she meets the time constraints.
Yep. But we might use this crescent instead of the
sword.
The sword.
I reckon use the sword. But
I have not used. So I set myself a little challenge the last 6 months or so. I was using my little airbrush too much, and I felt like I was losing skill with the airbrush because it was too precise. So I basically just decided I'm just going to use this big one, which is still like a 0.3 or something, but I'm going to use that and do all of my airbrushing with that and see if I can just like fine tune the skill set. Blood spatter on the heads and a bit on the axe, you reckon?
Yeah, look, you know how I feel about blood spider. Get it in there.
Get it in there.
I like them to be living in the world. I like to
get your sausage in that. All right, let's do it. Let's get a bit of the old blood for the blood god. Pew, 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 pew.
Do you want a better recipe?
Is it going to involve the other one?
Clear red mixed with a little bit of black ink.
Yeah, I've got both of that. I mean, I like to just spice things up multiple ways and use both.
You can use both, yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad I have your permission.
Yeah. You say the right thing. And I'm going to agree.
Hello, Scarabost.
Hey, Scara. What am I working on? I'm making some adjustments to the Elysia that I was painting. I was not entirely pleased with the result on her, and I took a garbage set of photos for her too, so that also impacted my enjoyment of her. And I'm wondering, do you think I should cut the kind of like artsy-fartsy shit at the front of the plinth? I think I should cut that. And
Yes.
just make it black.
Yes, I think you should cut that.
Yeah.
But I'm not one for artsy-fartsy in general.
Yeah, I just don't think it's actually adding anything.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to for me. What is it adding to the piece? If it's adding nothing, fuck it off.
Life without a few risks. That's a good question.
Ben making hats. That's just all time for me. That's just like,
I love Ben's hat.
how do you explain Ben X Leighton to a person? You go, the guy's a fucking great miniature painter, but instead of doing that, he goes and makes a fucking hat. Because he's just like, you know what? I feel the creative muse to make a hat. So I'm just I'm gonna live my truth and just fucking go. Hat making. What a guy. You can't take the sky from me. Alright. Yeah, the question now is, do I just fucking call that and say done?
No, you keep going.
What do I keep going with though? Do I do tattoos? Do I do some
Yeah, all
little
of
extra
it.
tweaks?
What can you add? You can probably add some color into the metals.
Yeah. I mean, I need to add some pop light to the metals.
Yeah. You can probably add some color into the skulls. Nuance, Trent. Nuance.
There's quite a bit of color.
Nuance the fuck out of it.
There's quite a bit of color in the skulls, Andrew. Alright, well I guess that means I'm still going to be playing around with this guy for a couple more days.
Yeah.
So
yeah, some browns into the blues.
Ooh.
Yeah, some red browns in there, please. Maybe even a little bit of orange browns in there. I need to feel like this orc is living in the world he's from.
You're an odd man, Andrew.
Am I?
Yes.
But I'm right, aren't I?
Maybe. Alright, that's a job for another day. I'm going to pack up shop now and go and think about how I want to approach Erinus and if we're going to be able to get it done in time, which we should.
Maybe doing an art piece is good. Grabbing some 2D inspo.
As in grab one to look.
Yeah. Well, like what you did for did for Niobe.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Except for like running back the challenge again to see how you've grown.
Someone suggested we should actually do a 2D art challenge, you and I.
Like painting 2D art?
Yeah.
Oh, what is the point? I can't fucking draw to save myself.
It'd be good to beat you at something.
You had to go and say the words, didn't you?
Yep.
You have to go and say the words.
Bunny, you are exempt. This is a boys only challenge. You don't get to play. You would beat us. You would beat both of us. It's not fair.
Yeah, Ben, you're in. Bunny, you're out.
Bunny out, Ben in. Topic, trees.
I'm trying so hard to resist the urge to want to just add contrast, Trent. My God.
Oh, mate.
Why have you made me this way?
This is the problem that I have with that shit as well, mate. I can't look at it and just go, this looks nice and subtle and elegant. I'm just like, ram it in there. Ram it in hard.
Do you think it's just a stylistic... This is bullshit you're telling mum. You can tell mum, but two dads always overrides one mum.
Agree.
And there's many jokes in there that you can hone in on. There's some innuendos on that one.
In your endo.
I really like that one, Trent.
Thank you, mate. All right, I'm packing up shop. It's been a pleasure, Bucks. Let's look forward to not doing it next week because I'm in Tasmania, but
Maybe
hopefully the week after we will catch up
Maybe we
again.
can find some rhythm.
I would like to find some rhythm. That would be great.
In the rhythm of the... What is it? In the rhythm of the night? That's a...
In the middle of the night, I go walking in my shoes. No, that'd be good, mate. Friends, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We will go find someone to raid. Good to be back. Jan the man is on. We haven't raided Jan for a long time, so we will raid Jan.
Yeah.
Great man. Pleasure and a privilege. Night, friends. See you soon. Jared, it's going to be exciting.
Night, everyone.
Big dinner out. Genuine vision. In the middle of the night.
Have you forgotten how to raid, mate?
No, it takes time, alright?